Hello, listeners, and welcome back for another episode of Lead Up for Women, Speak Up to Lead Up. I am your host, Colleen Biggs, and we are on episode number 156. We're welcoming our guest, Jessica Koch, today, who's going to be helping us understand the formula of sales plus marketing equals a balanced strategy. And before we get to talking with Jessica, I would like to first thank our sponsor, Julie Jones, with the Adventures of Julie Jones and the Get Shit Done coaching program. Are you an entrepreneur who would like to get more done, be more productive, and more effective in communication without losing your sanity? Julie provides one-to-one coaching workshops, speaking memberships, all customized for your specific needs. And she is so much more than that. There is a no cookie cutter approach when it comes to you living your best life now. If you're ready to get serious about taking action with your life and business, then you want to go ahead and take action now and visit Julie's website at www.juliejones.biz and book your free 30-minute call with her. You will not regret that. So now let's get back to our guest, Jessica Koch, who I met several months ago through networking and introductions through friends. And I have never in my life felt sorry for meeting Jessica. Let me tell you that. She's a wonderful connection. She's a door opener. She's a collaborator. And these are just my words. I'll get to her bio in a minute. But she's become a good friend of mine. And, I always say, the 5 people you hang around with the most are the ones that are your net worth, that are in your network. And Jessica and I help each other increase our net worth from the assistance that we provide to each other. It is so important. Let me tell you a little bit about how impressive she is and her background. She's been a national sales professional for more than 25 years. She's worked with Fortune 1000 clients like Disney and Verizon. She's also worked with national power utilities, hospitals, governments, universities, and colleges. She successfully trained and managed multiple sales teams nationally who were consistently the top sales producers. It's very important to mention that. You can manage sales teams, but if they all suck, what does that say about you? I'm just going to say she speaks nationally and has been featured on many podcasts, including this one, and video interviews. She will soon be featured in published book series titled Profiles in Success, Inspiration from Executive Leaders in the Washington, D.C. area. As the daughter of a retired Navy service member, she's given the opportunity to reside both domestically and internationally. And she's been in Germany, France, Bulgaria, and Prague. Wow, that's pretty amazing. She is also a parent to 7 kids and is married. So Jessica, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Yeah, that's my standard intro. I'm the Italian mother of 7, which is the most important thing to me and a big part of my life. So
it is. I'm a mother of 7. You know that. It's a huge part of my life. We can't definitely go on and talk about all of the things that we've accomplished without saying we raised 7 kids. Come on now.
Right. And still raising. I have a 10-year-old, so she's our youngest. So yeah, the family is important. I think that's the core, and it's also a big part of our why in a lot of ways. So
yeah,
a big part of my why.
Well, let's talk about that, Jessica, because I believe the big part of our why has a lot to do with the formula of sales and marketing. How do you sell yourself? How do you market yourself if you don't even know what you stand for or who you are? So let's talk a little bit about that, since I know you work with so many clients on that. Let's dive in a little bit more on the sales and marketing of ourselves and our brand and why it's so important.
Yeah, I'm even in a mastermind where you're constantly evolving, right? You're constantly redefining what's your vision, what's your mission, why are we doing this? And I think when my kids were young, my why was, 20 years ago, I was working from home. I pioneered, I was one of the pioneers of the, that telecommuting and working, that whole you don't have to go into the office every day. What's that about? Like, people didn't even understand. And I pitched it I was in the interview and I pitched it to the bosses that I had at the time. I said, look, if I don't show up and produce and knock your socks off with my sales stats, then fire me. But give me a shot to do this and do most of it from home, because I have this crew of kids I care about, right? So having your priorities straight. And then for me, I mean, the definition of success truly is being able to inspire, support, and be there for my family and my community. But it has expanded as I have expanded, right? I've gotten to this place where I'm not going to be able to say it without crying, because I've gone on this journey of development for myself where I've gotten to this place where, and I was just reading this yesterday and meditating on this, where abundance and resources and money are as vast as air. And I believe that now. Like anything I need to achieve, the people, the money, the knowledge, whatever I need resource wise, I just need to say, I just need to ask. I just need to tap in and meditate, and those doors open and they come. And so I'm at this different place where is the definition of success for me? And for me right now, it is starting to determine and tap into how I can have such a splash in the pond that there are ripples hundreds and maybe even thousands of years later for millions and billions of people far after I'm gone. Well, that's my question. That's my meditation. What can I do now that is going to touch lives of people I'll never meet for many, many years to come? How can I have that kind of impact with my life? And that's success to me. And so I know we're way beyond the what's sales and marketing and how do we make a buck in our company in this conversation. But that's where I have been growing and stretching to, and where I am soaking in my time and in my meditation for the big why of it all.
Yeah. And I'm glad you shared that, because sales and marketing and having that perfect formula of a balanced strategy is exactly what you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It is not about, okay, and sales, black and white, and marketing, black and white. And
Mm-hmm.
there's your balanced strategy. Use this every single time and you will have success. If you don't believe in your success or believe in your why, or even have the perseverance or the desire or the faith, like the book all the way back to 1939 with Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, talks about, if you don't have the perseverance and the drive and the faith and the desire, it has to come from somewhere within. And if you don't have that, then the sales and marketing strategies won't work.
And how many years ago? We said 1939, right? So how many lives has he touched still? And he is not with us anymore, right? And so that to me is amazing success.
Yeah.
And so one of the big reasons that I need to have a company that is a multi-million-dollar corporation, which we're on track for, and is going to make a bigger impact in the world so that it can run itself, is so that I can also focus on a global nonprofit where I am helping them have residual and endless funds, right? And so the reason it's so important to understand how to bring profit into your company, and how profit has to be the number one point of what you're doing, aside from helping people and loving people and just wanting to give. I get all that and I hear all that all the time, but I'm thinking, okay, but if you're not making money doing it, then you're missing on the service. You're not truly serving to your fullest if there isn't a profit. So profit's a couple of things and sales is a couple of things. It's having the data, knowing your data, tracking the data, evaluating the data, and having systems and processes so that things can scale and go without you. And that is the big focus of our company this year. And what I would tell you is there's a couple of really basic, exciting things that we're still incorporating in my company right now. One is, so bringing in, think about actions you need to take that are going to bring in dollars today. That's sales, right? Actions you can take right now that are going to bring in dollars very quickly, maybe today or very, very soon. Those are sales actions. Marketing is your making sure that the world sees and feels the culture of your brand and your story and the why you want to close that sale today, right? Because if I want to sell you a cell phone today and I am just here to sell that cell phone. But you know that my bigger vision is also because that some of that cell phone sales is going to go to support backpacking backpacks for kids that don't have backpacks when they start school in the fall, and that I'm trying to reach 100 cell phone sales so that we can have 200 backpacks ready to go in the fall when the new school year cycle happens. That's a different message, right? And that's a different power. And so I call it cause marketing. The cause marketing piece is great. And it's not, as some people go, oh, well, that's just, using causes in order to make a sale. Well, no, it's a triple win is what it is. Like, we just need to build lots of wins. It's not a manipulation. It's not using a cause in order to make your sale. It's, hey, I'm going to sell the cell phone anyway, but I'm going to do something good for it at the same time, right? So some people have, there's been some controversy with that and tripped it up, but I just respectfully disagree. I feel like if I'm going to spend time and energy 7 days a week, away from my family in a lot of cases, working to grow my business at the same time, I'm going to be growing money and pockets of profit. For causes and for things other people care about, as well as things I care about. Like I ask my clients, what are your causes that you want me to support? I ask my team members who work for me, what are the causes you want to support? What do you care about? And then of course the things that are singing to my heart too, so that it's not all about me. It's never, that's the other thing. I think that's the other big growth step, is when you realize your life is really not about you, then you are really stretching. And I just know it's not about me. It's about all the people, because when it's about all the people, all the most wonderful things happen for me. Me gets taken care of in the wash. It all works out in the wash, right?
Yeah, we need to remember that when we're marketing, right? So your consumer is asking the question, and if you're driving, don't write this down, but if you're listening somewhere, I want you to write down these 4 letters, WFIM. People want to know what's in it for me. WIFM, sorry, with them. WIF, what's in it for me? Just write that down and have that sticky note in front of you all the time. And when you're putting together your marketing campaign, talk to people about the problem that you're solving with the product or service that you have. And that's how you attract the people to you, because if they have that problem and you have a solution, they want to be your consumer. So it needs to be about them, not about how great you are, right? And even if you don't have cause marketing, like you were talking about, you still have to bring out the passion behind the why of who you are, right? There's a know, like, and trust factor that needs to happen in your marketing before you get to the sales. Go ahead, Jessica.
Well, and I agree with you, but I'm also going to say that there's a magic formula, and having that solution that you solve be for someone special. And I always present it. So I would present it like, Colleen, I have this amazing solution, and it's for this special person. And let me tell you about who this special person is. And let me tell you how this solves their problem. It's probably not for you, but I bet you know someone that. And then I share it that way. So it's not about what it's in it for you. It's about that special person, because then what happens is you allow the person to, in their own mind, raise their hand and go, wait, you just described me.
I'm special.
I want to raise my hand for that. And then you haven't sold to them. You've shared a gift with them. Right. And that
beautiful
is a much more powerful way to share what you have, because no one wants to admit that they have a pain or a problem. What pain? What problem? What are you talking about? I got it all together. I'm good. I am on it. I am super mom. I got my husband happy. My kids are good. I've made a homemade dinner. It's all healthy and organic, by the way. And I'm kicking ass and building a multi-million-dollar company. So what have you done today? Right? I got it together. What pain? What problems? What are you talking about? And people don't want to admit that. And so when you have a solution for a challenge people are probably facing, you want to present it in a way that makes them feel comfortable, and allows them the space to decide to step forward and lean forward versus lean back because they feel like you're bringing something to them.
True.
Other big strategy, the big number tip I want to give before we have to get off, because I know how fast these podcasts go, is this is an exciting concept, and I think I'm going to start a group if you want to join me. But start your own and be inspired. Just take this idea, steal it, use it, do it. Don't wait for me. Calling hours, right? I'm part of a group that for a specific piece, and one of the many multiple streams of revenue that I have is doing these Monday calling hours where you get on Zoom all together and you go on mute and we make the calls that we need to make. And then in the chat, we say, got an appointment, closed a deal. We get to cheer each other on through the course of the calling. Everyone's on mute, but everyone's camera's on. So we're holding you accountable. Like, you can see that I am using my phone, not for pictures or for social media browsing. It actually works for phone calls. And we're going to call the people in our community, in our joint ventures, as our customers, to say, do you know someone that, get on the phone again. This is a sales strategy that works. Make personal calls. I'm not talking about making a bunch of cold calls. Not that cold calls are dead or don't work. I'm going to tell you they can and they do, and there's a right way to do them. And that's a whole different strategy. But there's about 1 million people on your LinkedIn and in your phone right now, and in your database, and in all the networking groups you're a member of, and in all the directories you're a member of, and all the chambers and spaces that you're a member of, that you could be picking up the phone and calling and talking to these humans, and it would be a warm conversation. And if you had a weekly time that you knew every week from this time to this time, it's sacred, it's like my workout, yoga, meditation time, nobody interrupts it, I am making phone calls every single week, and that group is counting on me to be there. And guess what else? I'm a little competition. I have a little competition in me. I'm a little competitive. I am going to close at the end of the day. At the end of that call, they say, all right, who closed the most appointments, who closed the most deals, who did the best with their time, and I want to be the one to say, yeah, kicked ass again. You got to just try to catch me, and so that's a great way for you. Think about it. If you're a realtor, right? And you have a realtor, a mortgage person, a title person, all the people who are involved in a real estate transaction, and they decide as their own little pod to get together and make those calls. They're not just making a call that benefits themselves. Because they send each other referrals back and forth, have just magnified by 10 or 15 or 100 the amount of success they've had. So if they can make 20 calls in that hour, and they all make 20 calls, that's how many calls that were made practically on your behalf, in some way. I mean, just brilliant. So I'm pulling that back into my business model for what I'm doing. And I so suggest everyone else do it too.
We call them power hours. And if you've ever been a member of a network marketing community, which again, I support those because just like, cause marketing, I support network marketing because it's a proven product. You have help along the way. You're spreading the message of a product that you absolutely love or a service that you absolutely love. Why shouldn't you get paid for that? I think there's a lot of stigma around that that's not positive. They do power hours. I remember working with a community not too long ago, Dawn Cermak and Jill with Hey Taxi. And Jill said, I'm doing power hours this week. Who in the group wants to join me? And women jumped on and they muted and they called, and that's how they were able to close deals. That's how able they were to get people to join their community. People want to be reached out to. They want to be loved. They want to have attention. All of us do. And how does it make you feel when someone calls you and has a conversation with you? It makes us feel really good, especially if they're looking for help or, hey, do you know of anyone that could assist me with this? So I think power hours are amazing. Every single person should take that from this podcast today, adapt that into their business, and just take 1 hour a week. That is not a lot. If you take 1 hour a week and do all your phone calls on one day. In fact, if you have an accountability partner, just get on with your accountability partner, which I have every single week, and just mute yourself and go for it. Jessica, that's a great idea.
2 accountability partners. I talk with one on Tuesday and a different one on Fridays. But I'm going to tell you, I love the idea of doing this in a larger group, because there's energy, there's excitement, there's
Totally.
competition, there's, and it's just a lot, and it's a lot of fun. So why don't we, as grown-ups, why don't we gamify and make some of this stuff we need to do and get checked off the list a little bit fun, right? And do it
It's
together.
fun to do it with other
It's
people.
fun to do it together. It's so much
Yeah.
more fun to clean out my closet when I invite Colleen Biggs over and say, okay, we're going in. It's a monster in there. I mean, there's some things, some sequence in there. The girl should not be in there, but it is a lot more fun when we can laugh at how bad my
Yep.
fashion taste was way back when.
I've
Hopefully it's
done that a
better
lot
today.
with
It's so,
friends
it's
when
so
they
much
were moving
fun.
and we had like packing
Yeah.
parties and we
And
all got together.
some wine. I don't
So
know.
much fun.
What I'm
It's
saying
always
is,
fun to do it with
it's
friends.
not fun to face the monster alone.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. So I think that's an important piece of what we're talking about today, Jessica. Why should anyone have to face the sales and marketing piece of their business alone? You don't.
You
And we've given
don't.
you several tips today on how you can create this balanced strategy for yourself on having a cause, right? Having time set aside for you to be able to sell, for you to be able to talk to people that are already in your community. And that brings me back to another thing that I talk about a lot, and you know this, about your network being your net worth.
Yes.
Stop trying to get your net so wide and join all these groups, because that group is going to be the one and this group is going to be the one. Take all of the people that you just said in your Facebook, in your LinkedIn, in your phone, in your notebook of all, in your Zoom calls that you've had, in your Calendly of people booking calls with you. Go back and contact each one of them. They already know you. They're already connected with you. They already like you. They probably already trust you. That's the person that you want to talk to. I say there's a rotating door syndrome. Why spend so much effort, which is more money, more time, to keep bringing more people in, and then they leave and they rotate out, and then they come in and they rotate out? You want to keep them longer. Keep them longer with you. Give them more opportunities to grow with you, or in your circle of people that you know. That's what I love about Jessica. That's what she does every single day. She keeps people like me in her circle by others that we're introduced to, by opportunities for us to do workshops together. Her and I are doing a workshop in March, and she's bringing in some other people, and we're going to talk about government contracts, the availability of funds and grants that are sitting there for you that you don't even know is available, and you don't know how to get access to it. Jessica does. So we're going to be talking about that with some other experts. This is leveraging yourself with other people is one of the best sales and marketing strategies you can have for your business.
Also go into it, go back to, we talked about why in the beginning, and go back into it with mindset. One of the other things I was listening to and stretching and growing some yesterday, because I had some space for that and some meditation, is this time that you spend in your business, growing your business or working for a job or whatever you're doing to bring in funds to your business, whether you own your own or you're working for someone, that time, that work you're accomplishing should actually bring you further along in your growth, bring you more energy than you had before, help you be the best version of yourself, so that when you are with your family, you have expanded and grown. And that's what my company and running my company has given me. I have become a better and better person, stronger and stronger and more knowledgeable. And I'm stretching and growing out of my comfort zone all the time, all over the place. And truly, my family gets the benefit of that. So think about that when you're going into these tasks. Think about the mindset you're in, that when you come out of this power hour, that time that you spend reconnecting with those amazing people is going to energize you and invigorate you and re-inspire you and stretch you for a moment of new inspiration, new ideas, new ways that you can grow and support your community, so that it's bringing value to you versus the regular concept of, oh, I got to go to work. Oh, I've got to make the sales call. And then you feel drained and, exhausted and overworked and tired. No, I want us to think differently about, my husband said this once to me, because he's always owned his own business since I've known him. And he said, one day I said to him, I have to go to work. And he said, no, you get to go to work. And we get this opportunity to serve others and to do things that we love. And if you aren't doing something you love, then maybe have a chat with Colleen or Julie or one of the other amazing people who can help you find that path to the thing you love, because you don't have to be afraid about the resources. Right. Remember, it's abundance like air, be there.
It is.
There was a time where I was the sole provider for my family, and my husband was home with our new baby who was 10. She was 10. He mostly closed down the business. I was it. And I went to him and said, I got to walk away. It's not healthy for me. We had nothing. It's no real safety net. Just, it was a leap of faith. I knew it wasn't healthy, where I needed to shift. And we shifted seamlessly. And right away, I got 6 months waiting list for his business. I stayed home with her. We shifted around, and I had this beautiful, time where I homeschooled her and I didn't work for a while. So, just have faith, because if you're not doing what makes your heart sing, it's not healthy for you. So,
well, that's definitely a beautiful note for us to end this podcast episode on today, Jessica. So thank you for that. And I want everyone to be able to get connected with you. We have several links, but what is the easiest way for them to get connected with you, get in your community? What do you prefer? Them following you on LinkedIn and connecting there and sending you a message? Hey, I heard you on the podcast. Would love to connect with you. You speak up to lead up, whatever. What's the easiest way that you find people?
LinkedIn and email are fantastic. I think my team, if you email me or if you hit my LinkedIn, will provide you with a calendar link. I do, as far as intimate getting to know you calls, I do small group intimate getting to know you calls. So if you get a link to get to know me better, it'll probably be open to you and up to 8 people. So don't be surprised or shocked, because we have to leverage our time. And I love to meet new people, but I have to do it strategically. So I do have small group getting to know you calls. And if they LinkedIn me or email me, my team will send them that link.
I think that's great. And I'm going to highly encourage all of you to reach out to Jessica. She is someone that you want to have in your network. I can't stress that enough. She's someone you want to have in your network, on your team. She will help you grow your net worth. You will help her grow her net worth. We're constantly referring people to each other, because when you know, like, and trust other people, you automatically just refer people to them. And this, it's a great way, because then they want to reciprocate and, with the reciprocity rule, and give that back to you. Right. So today has been an amazing conversation, Jessica. Thank you so much for being here. You are brilliant. And I'm so thankful to call you a friend. And remember, ladies who are out there listening today, and gentlemen who are listening, you're the only you that's ever been. You are the only you that will ever be. So how you design your week, how you put together your sales and marketing strategy to create a balanced portfolio for your business, how you run power hours or not, how you reach out to others or not, how you shrink back and play small or show up to be bigger and bolder in 2022. It's up to you. Nobody's coming. It's time for you today to give yourself permission to do that. So thank you so very much for all of you for being here this week. And until next time, be you and be strong. Bye for now.